Yo, what's poppin', my people? It's your boy CTG, and I'm back at you guys with another banger of a UFC 5 video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the things that I hope get addressed in this next patch for UFC 5. Now, as we all know, UFC 5 has problems. It has quite a few problems, and not all of them are going to get fixed in one patch. I know that. I'm very realistic. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the game sucks and it's never going to get better, because I know things are going to get patched. Things are going to get addressed. So these are a couple of the things that I hope are going to get addressed with the next upcoming patch, because if I'm correct, I believe they're going to be dropping some new fighters. And generally when new fighters drop, there tends to be a patch, not soon after or literally like with the new fighters. So, but the first thing that I want to see changed is the double leg bails. Double leg bails need to go back to what single leg bails were for UFC 4. For those of you guys that didn't play UFC 4, single leg bails were super annoying to deal with in UFC 4 at the beginning. You literally get in an online match and somebody would just single leg bail you, put you in a 50-50 and get you down. And it was the most effective way, like double leg bails are in UFC 5, to get takedowns in UFC 4. So what they did to combat that was they slapped the stamina tax on it. And they made it to where you had to have a 50% stamina advantage over your opponent in order to get the single leg bail. And they need to do the same with the double leg bail. They need to make it where you have to have a certain stamina percentage advantage over your opponent to get a double leg bail. Because a lot of people right now that are grapplers are just putting you in 50-50 positions every single 10 seconds. And you can't deny it. You can only defend it or you can get the trip. But most of the time against lower level fighters, these are how a lot of these guys are winning, because they're just going in 50-50 in you, either pulling guard into full mount or they're taking you down into half guard and stuff like that. And it's really annoying to have to deal with, honestly. And it's too easy for people to do. So I'm hoping that they add the stamina tax back on to the double leg bails like they did the single leg bails in UFC 4. Now, the second thing that I hope that they address is the submission meta that is in the game currently for UFC 5. Now, for those of you guys that don't know about this, the single leg, or not the single leg, I'm sorry, damn, I was talking about the bails. The submission meta right now is really easy. If you really focus on it, it's, hey, if I get you in a submission, I drain your stamina all the way down, preferably with an arm bar or a triangle choke. You know, it's going to roll you into full mount. And then once they get you into full mount, if you have your stamina drained and they have a stamina lead on you, they're just going to posture up and get a free armbar transition, and you're pretty much shit out of luck. I'm not going to lie to you. You're pretty much out of luck. And it's like the game punishes you twice for not getting out of a submission. And that's not really the way it should be. It's not. Or when somebody gets you in full mount, they posture up, they look to get a rock in full mount, and then they look to get a full rock mount. And then they go for the free armbar, and then your stamina is already drained down to about 35%, and it makes it that much easier for them to get a submission. So hopefully they address this, man. Hopefully they make it a little bit harder, or maybe add a delay on when you can go for another submission after successfully getting one, because right now really it's far too easy to just chain submissions like that and get a sub. So hopefully they do something to address this meta that's going on right now. I know it's going to be a little tough. I know a lot of the game changers are probably like, hey, you know what? It's very tricky to address this meta, but I'm hoping they start taking the steps towards addressing it, because right now it is a really big problem in UFC 5. Now, the third thing that I hope that they change is something that you guys hear me say a lot of on my stream, and I hope that they add more stamina tax onto some strikes hitting your block. So I know they've addressed, whiffing shots, or shots that are being evaded. They take more stamina off of you, which is a really good thing, and I'm thankful that they did that. but they haven't addressed the shots on block. So this has led to a lot of people still being able to throw 130 to 140 strikes around, and that's just not very realistic. Nor is it really applicable. Honestly, I feel like in a video game, you shouldn't be able to throw 140 strikes in a round in a video game. So I'm hoping they address it by adding more stamina attacks onto the shots on block. I feel like that's going to make people, it's going to alleviate a lot of the block breaking issues that a lot of people tend to have, but it's also going to start to lower the strike volume that aggressive fighters have and really make the game a little bit more tactical. You have to be a little bit more technical with your striking. You got to pick your shots better. You're not just walking forward, throwing shots at somebody's block the entire time, and then it's not draining your stamina down. Because as you guys have seen me face a lot of guys like, Max Holloway, a lot of guys that have a very high cardio and endurance. It's very hard to get through those fights. It really is, because they're just going to overload your block. So hopefully they address this, adding more stamina attacks on to the shots on block would be really, really beneficial in the long-term aspect of the game, because it really is going to widen the skill gap, I feel like, much more than it already is. So those are just a couple, what did I name? 3 things that I hope get changed in the next patch. Let me know in the comment section what you guys are hoping to see fixed in the next patch. Maybe there's a couple of things that I missed. I didn't get into one of the really, really big things that I hope gets changed, because I feel like the really big thing, the submission transitions, and kind of just how wonky they are with how denials and transitioning out of subs. I feel like that's going to take quite a bit of time over the course of multiple patches to fix that. And I just wanted to touch on a couple of things that I hope they address in this specific patch. So if you want to mention something that you hope over the long term that they address, drop it down in the comment section, and even drop down things that you hope get addressed in this patch specifically too. And it could be anything. Don't feel like, hey, you know what, this is something that's really small, so I'm not going to put it in the comment section. I want to hear every single opinion and every single thing you guys want to see changed on UFC 5 with this specific patch. But until the next time, guys, take it easy, be safe. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button as well as slap that like button. I do post content on my channel daily. So if you're looking for gaming content as well as sports content, then this is the channel for you. But until the next time, guys, take it easy, be safe, enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from. And I'll see you guys in the next video, though.